and thank you for joining in tonight in this live Facebook video. So I'm Garrett Gregory, the current chairperson of VetBooks for Africa, and I just want to firstly, before we start, give a big thank you to Roger and the. Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining. Yeah, like I said, big thanks to Roger and the Expedition Project team for giving us this wonderful opportunity to come here tonight and to explain to you guys a little bit more about what Wetbooks for Africa is and what it is we do. So we are a student-driven society of the University of Pretoria that is affiliated with the Honours Depot Faculty of Veterinary Science in Pretoria. Um, so um, what we essentially do, or it is a continuation of a unique project that was established already in 1993. Our committee currently consisted of 8 students that all study veterinary science at the university at the Faculty of Veterinary Science of the University of Pretoria. We go on a biannual trip once every 2 years to the selected countries up in Africa and deliver much needed textbooks, journals, supplies, and equipment of veterinary interest to the remote veterinary faculties, sanctuaries, animal rehabilitation centers, and community veterinary clinics in Africa. The team also then offers education, treatment, and advice to local communities in the traveled areas. So like I said, we are a society affiliated with the University of Pretoria. Our society currently has 173 members, most of which are studying also veterinary science or veterinary nursing at the Honours Depot Faculty of Veterinary Science. So our society members also understand our cause and support our cause 100%, and therefore have decided to join in our fight to help better educate African veterinarians. Our vision is unlocking the true potential of conservation in Africa through the education of its people. Quite a powerful statement that is really something we really do believe in. Our mission is then, like I said previously, to distribute veterinary textbooks, journals, and other supplies and equipment to veterinary faculties, rural communities, schools that are in need of some of these commodities in the various countries in Africa that we visit, while aiding and volunteering our time at the veterinary clinics and conservation sanctuaries up in Africa. We strive to promote education and conservation through our actions and to unite veterinary students in Africa in order to achieve the ultimate goal of preserving the world for generations to come. I'm just quickly going to read to you guys some of our objectives, which is really some stuff we believe in 100%. So our first objective is to promote the veterinary profession in Africa through the distribution of educational media. Our second objective, to engage with and assist communities and the animals through the distribution of educational media, medication, vaccinations, equipment, and donations to various community veterinary clinics, animal rehabilitation centers, and animal sanctuaries, and to promote and advance veterinary education across Central and Southern Africa, thereby upholding the international regard for African veterinary faculties, to promote and strengthen the relations between African veterinary faculties and to advance veterinary standards across Africa, to promote environmental awareness through education across Africa, and to serve as an intermediary that links people and organizations across Africa to ensure a sustainable future. So yeah, this is the basic beliefs that VetBooks for Africa trust and believe, and is the core of our cause that we strive to achieve during our term. I thought I'd just quickly mention while we're here. So our committee is not a permanent committee that stays in control of things throughout. Like we said, we're student driven and have academic programs to keep up with. So our committee is elected every 2 years, and then you have a two-year term running, after which we elect a new committee that will take on the baton and go forward with the VetBooks for Africa cause. In saying this gives us the unique opportunity to have new blood coming in constantly, new ideas and everything, new innovation that's coming through and making the cause even better and better as we go on. So here's a list so we've already been busy for a year now. So our trip will be taking place in December 2020 and January 2021. That's the proposed date. Due to this world pandemic, we're not too sure anymore, but we trust and we hope that everything will fall in place, that we can still make this trip a reality at the end of the year. So the universities we've been in contact with, and it has confirmed our visit, is the Sequoia University of Agriculture in Mahoro in Tanzania, the University of Nairobi in Kenya, the University of Zambia in Lusaka, the University of Zimbabwe in Harare, the Makerere University in Kampala in Uganda, and the Lilongwe University of Agriculture and Natural Resources in Malawi. Like we also mentioned, that we visited a couple of charities and schools and local veterinary community clinics, to also try and assist them as much as we can, and to make things and to ease the burden on them also a little bit. So the charities that we will be trying to help is the Vic Falls Wildlife Trust in Zimbabwe, the Kayatsi Primary School, the Wilhelmina High School in Malawi, and the Tumaini Jema Primary School and Nursery also in Malawi, then Opajeta in Kenya, and the Riteta Elephant Sanctuary also in Kenya. These are charities that we did extensive research on and got the contacts of, and these are people that really needed some help, and we decided that it fits within our bracket to also help them. You'd realize there's a lot of schools part of it. A big part of us is the education part of it, and therefore the schools we help. We will also be taking the Kingsley Holgate Elephant and Rhino Art campaign with us on the trip, and trying to help educate these children as well in the art of conservation and what these animals are all about. We also partnered with Lessons in Conservation, whose sole purpose is to educate children about conservation. But I'll give a little bit more detail about Lessons in Conservation a little bit later within this video. So, although we do a lot of work up in Africa, and it is our main goal is to help the university, the African veterinary faculties, and the veterinary students up there to get a better education. We also believe that we need to do some work down here in South Africa as well, to do our good within our local communities. So we are part of the Maverick Outreach, which is a combined project between the University of Pretoria's medical students and the veterinary students, and a bit of educational students, and also a bit of law students also involved. So what it basically is a day we go out, it's 2 days within the year. You go out into a local community close to the university. There we set up stations where there's medical checkups for people as well as for animals. This is free of charge. We give dewormers, we vaccinate their dogs. There's a play area for their children, which really is a fun day to teach these people to better look after themselves and also the animals, and then also to give the children a bit of experience in playing with different things than they used to. We also had a team under our other partner, the Wildlife Conservation Trust, that drove in the 94.7 Cycle Challenge, which is a really big cycle challenge happening in Johannesburg every year within South Africa. Then we also had the privilege of helping and assisting at the World Youth Wildlife Summit during September 2019 at the South African Wildlife College there by the open gate of the Kruger National Park. It was really a fun week where we got to interact with a lot of children that came to South Africa to learn about conservation and to learn about wildlife, to see their faces, to see what they learned, and to see how other people do the education part was really eye-opening, and it made us a lot better. Well, just being there made me a better person, and I trust the rest of my committee also feels the same. It was really fun. We got into contact with a lot of people that's big in the conservation industry, and it was really nice bumping heads with them, getting their expertise, listening to them, learning some lessons. So yes, a really nice experience for us. The Vet Books for Africa team also, we make handmade bracelets. I unfortunately do not have one with me now to show you, as with the lockdown, I was a pretty big of a rush out of the university and forgot to take that. But these bracelets we sell as a fundraiser and also as an awareness campaign to make people aware that there is other veterinary students out there that do not get the same level of education as we do. We also have numerous other fundraising events throughout the year, like our annual dodgeball tournament that we hold on the Honors to Poet faculty. So this dodgeball tournament is more for the Honors to Poet students, but it's a really fun night, filled with a lot of hurt and a lot of laughter and a lot of dressing up. But everyone enjoys it at the end of the day, and it really makes people aware of our cause and what we really try to achieve. And then through our partners, the Wildlife Conservation Trust, who's the mother body of the Hoedspruit Endangered Species Centre, or HESC, we also try and get some supplies and stuff that HESC desperately needs to care for the animals. I'll have a little bit more to say about HESC right at the end, to give you guys an opportunity, those that's interested, to maybe visit them as well. So I thought I'd just give you guys an overview of who our partners is and what they are. So obviously, being a society of the University of Pretoria, under the SRC, we are definitely partnered with them, and our faculty helps us tremendously achieving our goal. And also it's in their best interest to reach out to these African veterinary faculties and to build relationships with them in order to create a sustainable future where African veterinarians can work in unison to create a conservation center within Africa. Then, like I mentioned a couple of times before, the Wildlife Conservation Trust. So this is an entity that was founded through the efforts of many dedicated people and organizations working towards the conservation of endangered species and vulnerable animal species. The Wildlife Conservation Trust facilitates projects like HESC and recently also HERD, and then also also Vet Books for Africa, as we are also now classified as a project under them, with a focus on conservation, rehabilitation, and the protection of wildlife, as well as education and training programs relating to the environment, which is really where we fit in. Then, I just wanted to say, as we are characterized as a project under the Wildlife Conservation Trust, we are also listed on Global Giving, which is an online funding platform. So if anyone feels the need to donate money towards the Vet Books for Africa cause, it's really easy and simple to just go into Global Giving and search for Vet Books for Africa or the Wildlife Conservation Trust, and there you'll see us. You can also look at our project reports there and see how we've been going on during this term of ours and during this difficult period. Another partner is the International Veterinary Student Association, or the IVSA. So it only makes sense for us to be partnered with them. So they're also a non-profit organization run by volunteer veterinary students, and it was founded already in 1953. IVSA is a global organization that involves thousands of students from over 60 different countries from all around the world. IVSA assists Vet Books for Africa in collecting books and equipment, and also helps us a lot with fundraising through the Global Fundraising Week, which is usually during October. We will just have to wait and see what happens this year. Then also what Vet Books for Africa offers IVSA is, as we go up into this African faculties and then get students involved with IVSA and get them on board, to make them part of this international society and to get them all the necessary tools to also take part in our group chats and stuff about veterinary education and about certain interesting facts that relate to us especially. Then our most recently acquired partner, or not most recently, is Lessons in Conservation, like I mentioned earlier. So Lessons in Conservation is a non-profit company established in 2018. So it's recently young society or young organization. It is completely student run, and they're also a registered NPO within South Africa. They aim to educate young children in rural communities about conservation, thereby creating a generation of people that have grown to love and accept conservation and nature itself. Both Vet Books for Africa and LIC are student run, and as students are, we are very ambitious, and both are growing at an exceptional rate. LIC has grown tremendously within the last 2 years, and I do implore all of you to if you have the opportunity, to go to LIC's website and just go see what exactly they've achieved. So we are striving towards a common goal, which is a sustainable future where nature as we know it is preserved for generations to come, which is kind of the common goal that all conservation entities is striving towards. And what LIC believes in firmly is that conservation entities should stand together rather than fighting against each other. Kind of exactly what the Expedition Project is doing, is to create an environment where we really preserve the world and not fight against each other, halting any progress that has ever been made. So yeah, our partnership entails that two of our members went on them with a trip in the December of 2019 to Mozambique to educate young children in the uh, uh, no, I can't remember the place's name. It will come to me later. But at that area, when they visited the officials in the area, they realized that there's never ever been someone trying to educate these people on conservation. So it's really interesting, and we're really looking forward to see what the impact of this conservation lessons has been on the people, and what the effect has been on the conservation in the area. It's situated within the Zambezi Valley, and it's in Zumbo in Mozambique. Sorry, it just came back to me now. So the Zumbo area, if you can go look on Google Maps if you want to, it's right there on the northwestern corner of Mozambique against the Zambezi River in the Zambezi Valley, and it's really an important part of conservation as it's deeming with wildlife. The diversity is immense, and it's really one of the it should be one of the hotspots for conservation. Um, so yes, that's our partners. We are really privileged to be partnered with all of them, and the Vet Books for Africa team really appreciates all their effort, and we really strive to help each other as much as we can. Our last partner we acquired just now, actually within the last 2 days, is the Expedition Project, which has done really great work in connecting conservation entities with each other, and now also including us, which we are really thankful for. And we really appreciate what the Expedition Project has done for us. Um, so yes, so as you can imagine, a project of this magnitude takes a lot of effort, a lot of planning, and a lot of fundraising. And our committee is fully committed. We have, like we mentioned before, we have 8 committee members that have really done a great deal in getting this project to where we are now. We have raised quite a lot of fund. We have gotten a lot of books in already, some equipment, not enough yet. So the equipment we basically need is any veterinary surgical equipment that can be used for training. So it doesn't necessarily need to be new or in a good it needs to be in a good working condition, but not. It doesn't need to be the best you can get. I mean, it's only used to teach students and to help them master the skills of, for instance, putting in sutures, or making a microhematocrit to do a blood count, and that sort of thing. So we really strive to get these things there. One of the universities actually in Tanzania, Dr. Richard Sampson came back to and said, well, although the previous trip did give them suture pads a lot, which he used to practice sutures on, I mean, in 2 years' time, with 50 students per class going through doing it, those things get worn out. So the need still persists to continue giving them the suture pads and to give them more of those if we can. So we're really striving to give them as much as we can. So the other problem is the logistical part of it. Is we need vehicles to get us up into Africa and to get us traveling the entire about 12,000 kilometers that we need to travel. So this has been a struggle for us. We are in the process of chatting with a couple of vehicle manufacturers, hoping for the best, but we are in difficult times and we're not really sure what will happen through this. But we stay positive, and we trust that someone out there will trust in our cause and will help us out. So yes, that's basically what we need. We have a lot of funds raised already through our sponsors, who's generously supported us. So I thought I'd just give them a shout out here, just to broaden their reach through us. So Hills, Sanlam, Avimmune, Bayer, MSD Animal Health, the British Small Animal Veterinary Association, who's been very generous, who's donated a lot of books and now also pledged to donate some money. Zuitis, Ruggedware, the Blueprint Corporation, then the Wildlife Conservation Trust, through which we have the global giving link, that people can go donate money online through the public funding platform. The University of Pretoria, through the society, we also receive an amount of money every year from them. The International Veterinary Students Association, that has the global fundraising week for us, and with which we have a couple of fundraising events running throughout the year. Then VetLink, which has helped us a lot with exposure and awareness of the Vet Books for Africa cause. The South African Veterinary Association has been very generous and has donated a bit of money as well, with along with a lot of textbooks, and then Omega Pet Foods recently coming on board, and then AfriVet. So I thought I'd just quickly share with you guys some stories we had, which was really interesting for us. So, like I mentioned before, Vet Books for Africa was established back in 1993 by 3 aspiring vet students from the Honours Support Faculty of Veterinary Science of the University of Pretoria. So they felt, being privileged enough to study at a world-class institution like Honours Support, that they needed to do something to help African students. So back then, the 3 of them, Prof. Gerard Steenkamp, who's a dentist, Dr. Mark Pennington, and Dr. Marcus Hofmeyer, decided they needed to do something. So they lended the Isuzu 250D Bucky of Prof. Steenkamp's brother-in-law to travel all the way through Botswana to Zambia to deliver textbooks there. And then later that year, feeling that they could achieve more, Prof. Steenkamp and Dr. Marcus Hofmeyer flew down to Maputo, Mozambique, to help the university there as well with some textbooks that they got donated. So really, from the start, a project that felt the need for felt a niche to fill, and they really did that with a lot of enthusiasm. We also met up with the famous vet, Dr. William Feld, who we met on the World Youth Wildlife Summit. Actually, he was on the 1995 Vet Books for Africa trip, where they got sponsored by Land Rover for the first time, a sponsored vehicle, and they were 5 of them traveling up through Botswana to get to universities there. So during this time, they had a bit of misfortune, and going through the pans in Botswana, they got stuck in a donga, and the whole axle of the Land Rover broke, and now they actually, or the trailer broke, and they actually had to leave team members behind to watch over the trailer and drive a long way to get to somewhere, to get to a mechanic or someone that can help them, maybe coming back and fixing what they could with a piece of wire and tongs, and then traveling all the way about another 200 kilometers to get to a real place that could actually help fix things. So some interesting stories, some interesting things, that the lengths through which people have went in the past to get this mission accomplished. So I thought I'd just give you guys some stats as well to what Vet Books for Africa has achieved. So to date, we have distributed approximately 2,300 textbooks to universities. We've driven approximately 84,000 kilometers. We visited 8 countries and 7 universities, and made a difference in education made a difference in the education of many veterinarians. And then I also thought I'll share with you guys tonight. We have this wonderful the Widespread Endangered Species Center was gracious enough to offer us free, to offer us not free, to offer us like wildlife experiences that we can give to people if they can help us a little bit out. So I thought I'd just share with you guys what the Widespread Endangered Species Center is and what it entails. And then, if some of you are interested, please feel free to contact us, and we'd be more than willing to help you guys out. So to win a wildlife conservation experience, the Widespread Endangered Species Center is a partner of Vet Books for Africa. Their focus is on wildlife conservation through the breeding of vulnerable and threatened species, in particular the cheetah, the rehabilitation of rhinos that have become victims of poaching, releasing animals back into the wild, and creating an awareness of wildlife conservation. Cheetahs and rhinos are only some of the different species you'll encounter at ESC. So I myself had the privilege of visiting it before. It's really an amazing place. I myself might also be interested in winning this experience. I think it will be a bit unfair, so I won't enter the competition. But it really is a wonderful place to be able to go and experience wildlife conservation at one of its best. So you can read more about what ESC does and what there is to do on their website. So you can literally just go search for ESC on Google and you should find it. But it's esc.co.za is the website address. To stand a chance to win this 5-day wildlife conservation experience at ESC, which is valued at about 10,400 Rand, South African Rand. This includes accommodation, food, assisting and caring for the ESC animals, and observing veterinary procedures that may occur during your stay there. So this is a great opportunity for any veterinary student to gain valuable wildlife experience and to learn about the animal's diet, behavior and veterinary interventions. And it's also a great experience for any outstanding conservation enthusiast that wants to learn more about wildlife and their habits and how they look and how you handle them and that sort of thing. Um, so to win this wildlife conservation experience, we ask that if you want to participate, you raise 500 US dollars for the Vet Books for Africa course. So this is around 7,500 South African rand. Um, and this is not limited. So anyone that raises that amount of money will win this wildlife conservation experience. This can be done in any way that you feel you can do it, either cash, EFT directly into our account, with your name as reference, please, or it does not have it also doesn't have to be a single amount. It can be multiple smaller amounts adding up to the 500 US dollars. The competition will run throughout the year, and every student, like I said, every student that raises the $500 will be given the wildlife conservation experience. Um, then the best way probably to raise this money is through the Global Giving online funding platform, um, which you can easily donate from the comfort of your home by scanning a barcode, which is on our website. And we encourage you to please use this facility. It works a lot better and it's a lot easier to manage. And all that you have to do is in the notes, you just add your name and just put HESC Wildlife Conservation Experience, and we will know exactly from who that money is. And and you can stand a chance to win the HESC Wildlife Conservation Experience. Then like I've mentioned Global Giving before, anyone that feels that you support our cause enough to kindly donate a little bit, as little as you can. The Global Giving page is up and running, and you can literally just visit Global Giving, search for Wildlife Conservation Trust or the Vet Books for Africa, and you can just donate there, as easy as that. All right. So at this stage, that is me basically. So I'm just going to search for the questions here, if there is questions that I can answer. So I'll start. Thanks for the Ford Wildlife Foundation. We have tried to contact them, but they have one day in a year through which you can do it, through which you can apply. And at that stage, we were in talks with Mazda, which is also part of the mother company of Ford. So we are still in talks with Mazda. So hopefully one of them can help us out. But we are still working with them. So thanks a lot for that. Then the Zoology and Conservation Department is not officially involved within it. So within the Vet Books for Africa itself, so it's only veterinary students that is involved, but we do take zoology textbooks and conservation textbooks with us. But we also distribute to the relevant faculties in the universities up in Africa. Our partnership with Lessons in Conservation. So a lot of their members are studying zoology or in a direction of that sort, and through them we have a little bit of a connection within the zoology department, but not really. So our veterinary faculty is situated about 40 kilometers from main campus, where the zoology faculty is situated. So it's quite a distance. So we're not really they're not really directly involved within the committee, but there is some zoology students also part of the society of the university. All right. Then I thought I'd also just let you guys know. So it is a difficult period we're all going through, as you would know. With this coronavirus pandemic hitting the world and really hurting the economy, hurting people, and taking lives, which is really an awful thing. That it is difficult for any society or any non-profit to gain funds and to make their mission go forward. And although the coronavirus outbreak does take precedence over everything probably now, all the other things that we're doing is still valid and is still real problems in the world that we really need to address and keep on going with our initiatives and projects, to ensure that we don't fall back onto what it was before we started our good work. With us, I mean all conservation institutions out there. And so we as a Vet Books has decided to really just go on with what we're planning. We obviously abiding by all the rules, staying at home, no contact meetings, everything is held online, and just continuing with what we're planning to ensure that if things turn out for the better, which we hope it will, and we trust it will, that we can just pick up where we left off and go on and make a difference in the world, which is what I think everyone wants to do. So yeah, so we as a VetBooks for Africa team has decided just to continue with what we're doing, continue with fundraising, continue with everything, and just hope for the best and trust that everything that has to will fall into place. All right, is there any more questions maybe that anyone would like to be answered? Um, so yes, with that said, please go visit our website, go visit us on Facebook, visit us on Instagram, VetBooks for Africa at VetBooks for Africa, VetBooks for Africa on Facebook, and our website vetbooksforafrica.org. I would like to thank the Expedition Project again for this wonderful opportunity. You guys have really helped us a lot, and then yeah. Um, to Roger and your team, please go visit their website, go look at our page there. You can also find all our info on their page on the Expedition Project. And yeah, thanks a lot to everyone, and thanks for this opportunity. Stay safe, stay healthy, and yeah, please abide by the rules. It's really for your own safety. Thank you very much.